Hi! You're probably wondering what the heck this is. This is a video game. Video games supposed to have code and 3D graphics and crap. This is some other game. This is a board game played with little plastic paper men and dice. This isn't what we signed up for. Well, if you give me a few moments of your time, I'll explain to you how we got from the tabletop to the desktop. So sit back, lock and load, and welcome to Metal Furball. Hi there. I wasn't expecting you to survive the transition. This is awkward. Well, this is my office. Welcome, come on in. And this is where the magic happens. What magic, you ask? Well, the coding. We make the game here, right? You said we're going to end up on the desktop. Well, this is it. This is the video game. Yeah. So you're probably wondering at this point, what the heck actually is Metal Furball? Well, it's a turn-based strategy game that aims to be a more arcadey take on the wargame genre, a lot like Advance Wars. But we're also kind of looping in some more advanced topics like morale and psychology from Darkest Dungeon. On top of that, we also hope to make it a roguelike. So those at home who are checking their indie game bingo cards, you can collect your prize at the end of the video. The fact of the matter is, Metal Furball has actually been in development for about 3 years now. It's just been right here on the tabletop, using little cardboard guys and dice to kind of try out different mechanics that I thought were cool. Now the joke was, when the game was originally starting to be developed, I needed 2 armies, a slow army and a fast army, to kind of like stretch out the mechanics. And it kind of evolved into a joke where you had like little rabbit men versus big old tortoise guys. Well, that ended up being the aesthetic. In fact, Metal Furball is actually a game that kind of combines a whole bunch of different elements. So we decided to kind of do a weird mishmash of Gundam and Advance Wars and Front Mission, Star Fox, and a little bit of Ninja Turtles, and oh boy, that's a lot. So why not just keep it as a board game? It seems like we put a bunch of time into it. Well, the truth of the matter is, I found myself actually wanting to play this game at 2 a.m. by myself against the AI. Yeah. I have too much fun playing games like Hearthstone and Slay the Spire, where you have these quick little contained runs where you kind of do a thing, you succeed, you grow in power, then you reset. And I always wanted that to be with a turn-based strategy game. I always hate sinking countless hours into a campaign, and I always burn out towards the end. Like, why can't games be faster? Why can't they just conclude quicker? I got things to do, you know. I'm a busy man. I got 4 monitors. So that's all good and all with our game's references, but what we're actually trying to do to set ourselves apart. So we're doing something a bit different. We're trying to show that, you know, in order to win a battle, you need more than just bullets. You need courage. So what we're doing is we're implementing the 4 Fs of infantry combat in World War II. Not to be confused with the 4 Fs of evolution. That's a different game. So the 4 Fs are find, fix, flank, and finish, which basically means you need to suppress the hell out of the enemy so they can't shoot you as good as you're trying to shoot them. Well, that sounds all good and dandy, but at this point, I actually haven't even shown you the game. So let's remedy that. Smooth transition. So this is a pre-recorded, pre-alpha version of the current build of the game. This was completed back in May, and since then we've been working on a new version with a bunch of new infrastructure crap. Things like resolution controls, save load, boring stuff like that. There will be a video on that soon. That said, this is what we're calling the combat demo, and it was kind of just fleshing out the general concepts of the game that we were hoping to get, like we were talking about the 4 Fs. So for this one, you can find them, which should be pretty obvious. You can fix them, which we have shooting mechanics in place here, so you're able to kind of pop shots, which drain the enemy's morale, regardless if it hits or not. Just by shooting at the opponent, you actually drain away their morale points. And if you actually hit them, then you actually cause wounds, which actually takes away their HP. As you can see, is represented by little hearts. You can also flank them / finish them by engaging in melee combat. And melee combat in this game is kind of cool because since there's so much range combat, melee combat is actually all about pushing the enemy unit out of that tile. And the reason you want to do that is because this game, at least this mission type here, is all about capturing victory points. And like the villages, as you can see with the little flags on them, those are kind of very temporal in terms of who owns them. Either you own them or your opponent can control them. If you control them, you have a victory point. But if he takes it over, then you lose that victory point. Other ways you can gain victory points are like rescuing POWs, which is the little guy in the stick there. He's like shouting help every once in a while. Also by destroying enemy units. And like I said, trying to flesh out the concepts of the game, and there's still a lot of work to go from here. This has been in development since probably January of 2020, and it's about June now. Almost looked at my watch, but it's come a long way. The game is actually kind of fun to play. The AI is actually relatively tough. They've beaten me several times. In fact, I think if you watch this entire video all the way through, which I think I'll post this match online along with this video, you can actually see that the AI ends up beating me in the end because I overestimated my own abilities. They do make some bonehead decisions, but that's all tweaking. All the groundwork for an interesting strategy game is here. We just gotta keep tweaking it. Now, things that we want to layer on top of this is like a psychology system, because right now you can be suppressed and you can be pinned by losing your morale points. So if you're suppressed, you lose 1 of your 2 action points. If you then like fill up your morale bar with stress, you then become pinned and you lose both your action points until you can kind of recover, which takes a variable amount of time, depending if you feel safe or how many of your guys are left in the squad. All these little things we're tweaking. But overall, like I said, we wanted to toss in a psychology system so you can be like confident and suppressed so that you recover quicker, or maybe you're wavering, but you're now pinned. So now instead of losing a turn, your character also flees from the battlefield. So it'll be cool stuff like that. Now, this game has been in development probably for a year and a half, so beyond January. So I actually did a lot of different tech demos, which I'm going to flash on the screen here. And those were just various takes and ideas and kind of learning how to use GameMaker as an engine. In fact, when I first started programming it, we were using GameMaker 1.4, and now we're in GameMaker 2, and then now we're maybe transitioning to 2.3, which is a whole nother can of worms we don't need to get into here. But development's going smoothly, and I can't be more stoked to be working on this day in and day out. We're starting to get actual official concept art in, like final designs for our 2 main units in the game. And the reason right now for this particular demo, we're using like stand-ins. As you can see, we're kind of grabbing some sprites from Metal Slug, I remember the name of the game, is that it just gave me it was easier to work with, quicker in order to get things working and getting the timing of animations and getting the structure for all the stuff that we want to accomplish than having to worry about art. So sometimes I find that's valuable, but it's also kind of weird because when you show off the game, the folks are like, "Oh, wait, is this a Metal Slug game?" It's like, no, we're just borrowing it. So I'm looking forward to getting some real art very, very soon. As you can see there, the AI successfully shoved me off that village. And actually, I think this is the beginning of the end for this particular video. But like I said, if you want to watch the full match, it'll be posted in the description. If you also want to play the game, the link to play this demo is also in the description as well. Feel free to use the feedback button. It links to a Google Forms. I would love to hear any feedback you have out there. Like I said, there's already a lot of things in the works, but at this foundational level, if you have ideas, thoughts, just feel free to share them. Well, that's kind of everything I have to show for this episode. It's been a weird journey, and I'm hoping that you just wanted to maybe stick along for it. I'm hoping to be posting at least one of these dev blogs every month as we kind of hit the major milestones of the game. So we actually have a June video that will come up maybe a couple of weeks after this one, showing kind of the rework effort that's going in. We're adding a hex map, and it's really cool. So I guess that's it. All right, you could just... That's the video. You know, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Otherwise, you can let yourself out. I'm gonna go get a snack. The heck are you still here? Yeah. Shoot.